it, shall we? Let's start in our child's pose, yes. Start in child's pose. Bring your knees wide on the mat, forehead to the mat. Working on just relaxing right now and feeling good, comfortable, you know, all that stuff as you just relax and melt into your child's pose. Walking your fingertips towards the short side of the mat, sinking those hips down towards your heels. Maybe rock your forehead side to side, just massaging out that third eye center. On an inhale, let's walk our fingertips towards the front of the mat. On an exhale, sink your hips lower, lower, lower down towards your heels, really planting your palms and feeling that pull maybe in your shoulders as you sink your hips. Inhale, walking those fingertips forward. Exhale, hips down towards your heels, feeling that stretch in the arms, in your shoulders, your upper back. Keeping with this breath and making sure we're keeping it with our Ujjayi breath, which is in and out through your nose. Inhale through your nose, walk your fingertips forward. Exhale, plant the palms, hips down towards your heels. Now let's take our right arm and thread the needle coming down on our right shoulder, right ear, feeling this twist. Melting into this. Maybe we can still walk our left fingertips forward towards the top of the mat. And as we exhale, we walk our right fingertips over to the side, getting deeper and deeper into this twist. Now let's release out, sitting our right hand up towards the top of our mat. Our left hand walking under, threading the needle on the left side, coming down, left shoulder, left ear. Breathing in, reaching those right fingertips up towards the top of the mat. Breathing out the left fingertips, walking towards the side wall. Getting deeper and deeper into this twist with each breath. And now let's release that left arm out back to our child's pose. One breath in, one breath out. On an inhale, rising up to our tabletop position. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Inhale, eyes and tailbone to the sky, taking your cow pose. Big breath in. Exhale, belly button into spine, arching your back into your cat pose. Inhale. Exhale. Taking these cat-cows, one breath, one movement, at your own pace. And now just moving any intuitive movements that feel good to just work out any kinks you're feeling in your back, your wrist, your shoulders, your toes, your ankles, anything that feels good right now. Just moving your body to work out the kinks. If you're playing music in the background, maybe you're moving with that music. All right, coming to a flat back. Let's pop our toes and sink our hips back, feeling that stretch in our toes and up the bottoms of our feet perhaps. And we'll come forward, tops of our feet on the mat as we sit back on our heels, lifting our knees, feeling that stretch up the tops of the feet. Maybe we bring our hands to heart center and gently close your eyes. And now back to our tabletop. Popping those toes, sinking the hips back, feeling that stretch. Inhale, Inhale as we rise, tops of the feet on the mat, sitting back, lifting those knees. And now we'll come to our knees. Standing up on our knees, we'll send our right heel out, arms up overhead, taking our right hand down to our right leg as we stretch this left hand over into our gate pose. And back up to center, bringing that right knee in, left leg out, that left arm down as we reach. And back to center on the inhale, bringing the left leg in, right foot out. And you can play with this, popping your toes or keeping your toes flat on the mat. Your choice as you exhale and reach that left hand over. And back to center. And reaching over with the right. And back to center. And coming down to our seated position. Let's come into a comfortable seated position. And we'll get a twist, a spinal twist. Arms up overhead. And we'll bring this left arm to the right knee. The right hand falls behind. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, twisting over, gazing over the right shoulder. As you're inhaling, you're lengthening your spine atop of the head, exploding through the ceiling. As you're exhaling, you're really opening up that right shoulder, peeling that shoulder open, twisting deeper on the exhale. Inhaling, lift. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. And now let's come back to center. Perhaps we have let's come into our fire log pose. So stacking shin over shin if you aren't there already. So right shin over left shin, right knee over right ankle, left ankle over left knee, arms up overhead as we walk our fingertips forward, feeling this opening and stretch in the right hip. And walk those fingertips back. Let's bring that left leg up on top, arms up overhead, the right hand to the left knee, the left arm falls behind. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, twist, gazing over the left shoulder. Inhaling as you lengthen, exhaling to twist. One more, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twisting deeper. Bringing it back to center, arms up overhead, walking those fingertips forward, feeling that stretch up the left hip. Relaxing and releasing into this stretch. And release up. Excellent. Let's come into our tabletop one more time. Popping our toes, we're going to push back to our downward facing dog. Our feet are about hips width distance. You're working on the heels getting down to the mat, but that's not necessary. Pushing through your hands, weight even in your hands. Gazing up at the navel, perhaps. Let's take a breath in, breath out. Inhale through the nose. Exhale. Belly button into spine as you breathe in through your lungs. Exhale. Let's walk our feet to our hands, meeting in a forward fold. Ragdoll, grabbing opposite hand to opposite elbows. Feeling that stretch up the backs of the legs, playing with the bend in the knees. We can keep the legs straight. We can have a slight bend in the knees. It changes the stretch, so see what you like this morning. Maybe swaying side to side. Maybe shaking your head yes or no. And now releasing those fingertips, rolling up one vertebra at a time. Rising up, extended mountain pose, reaching up, looking up. Let's cactus our arms and take a back bend. Look back, go back. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward, halfway lift, inhale. Stepping back to a high plank position just for a moment, modifying, coming down to our knees if we feel like it this morning, lowering all the way down to our bellies, wrists under shoulders, tops of the feet pushing into the mat so hard that your knees are lifting up off the mat, and with little to no weight in the hands, we lift our shoulders into cobra on an inhale. Exhale down. And now let's push back to our downward facing dog. And we take a breath in and a breath out. Inhale. Exhale. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a twist in our downward facing dog. Taking your right hand, seeing if you can tap your left ankle, and then bring it back. Take our left hand to our right ankle, and then bring it back. We take a breath in through our nose, and breath out. And now let's walk our feet to our hands. Meeting in that forward fold. This time let's clasp our fingers, bringing our hands to the nape of our neck. Again, playing with the bend in your knees, whatever feels good to you this morning. But feeling your head coming further and further down towards the mat. Your forehead coming closer and closer to your shins. Breathe. Let's release those fingertips, rolling up on the inhale, one vertebrae at a time. Arms all the way up to that extended mountain pose. Taking our hands to our low back. We look back, go back, taking that back bend, pushing our hips forward, gazing back. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift. Stepping back, lowering down. You can lower down through chaturanga, perhaps coming into your upward facing dog or cobra. Downward facing dog, and we take a breath in and a breath out. In through the nose and out through the nose. Let's try that twist again. So taking your right hand to your right leg. If you want a little more crazy, maybe you can wrap that right arm around that left knee, holding that left knee, and bring it back. Trying it on the other side. Tapping that right leg with the left hand, maybe grabbing a hold of that left knee. And releasing, taking a breath in and a breath out. Inhale, exhale, filling up, empty. Walk, step, or jump your feet to your hands. Halfway lift, fold. Let's rise up on that inhale, one vertebrae at a time. Reaching up, cactus your arms again, take that back bend. Inhale, reach up, rise up. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift. Step back, jump back. Lowering down your way. Exhaling either all the way down or through your chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Downward facing dog on the exhale. And we take a breath in and a breath out. Inhale. Exhale. Filling up. Empty. Let's lift our right heel to the sky. Big lift. We're not opening up our hip yet. Let's keep that right hip pointed down. Bend your knee. And now open up the hip. Taking hip circles one way. And then the other perhaps. Maybe we work out those ankles. Cracking the toes. And now let's bring that right foot down. Left heel rises. Bend the knee. Open up the hip. Taking those hip circles one way. And then the other. Maybe taking those ankle circles, popping the toes. And then we'll bring that left foot to meet the right. Taking a breath in, breath out. Filling up. Empty. Big breath in. Release. Walk, step, or jump. Feet to your hands. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Rising up on that inhale. Extended mountain pose. Jellyfishing those arms. Looking back, going back. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift. stepping back, jumping back, moving through your vinyasa, using the breath as the movement to get you through the movement. The breath is the vehicle to get you through the movement. Meeting in our downward facing dog. Breath in, breath out. Inhale, exhale, filling up, empty. Let's lift our right heel to the sky. Breath in as we lift that right heel. Bend your knee, open up your hip. If you'd like to take a flip dog here, bringing your right foot close to your left foot, about hips width distance, lifting those hips. Right arm up overhead, taking it to an early wheel perhaps. And then meeting back in our three-legged dog. Bring that right foot down, left heel rises. Bend the knee, open up the hip. Hang out here in this amazing hip opener or flip your dog. Bringing those heels, hips width distance. Grounding down to rise. Maybe coming into that early wheel on this side. And then meeting back in our three-legged dog. Bringing that foot down, breath in, breath out. Filling the lungs. Empty. Big breath in. Release. Walk, step, or jump. Feet to your hands. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Let's bring our toes together to touch our heels slightly apart. And we're going to sink our hips low, rising up into our chair pose. Belly button in, tailbone tucks, pelvis lifts, arms up overhead. Maybe we bring our palms together to touch, gazing up at our thumbs. Weight is in our heels. We can lift our toes up off the mat. Inhale, reaching those fingertips. Exhale, lowering down. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lower. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Step back, jump back, move through your vinyasa, meeting in your downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, our right heel lifts. We're going to bring it forward for warrior one. That left heel falling down at a 45-degree angle. 90-degree angle in this right knee. Lifting up on that inhale, arms up overhead. Bringing that left hip forward, right hip back. Inhale, reaching up and looking up. Let's take our chest to thigh on an exhale. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, chest to thigh. Inhale, rise up. Now let's take it down to the mat, moving through your vinyasa. Meeting in your downward facing dog, however you'd like to get there. Maybe you want to add on lifting this leg as you lower down. Inhale to rise. Downward facing dog, belly button into spine. Left heel rises. Bring this left foot forward. Warrior one. Right heel spins down, 45-degree angle. 90-degree bend in this left knee. Arms up overhead. Bringing this right hip forward, left hip back. Inner rotation of the right thigh makes that happen. Left knee tracking towards the little toe. Arms up overhead. Exhale, take that chest to thigh. Inhale, rise. Exhale, chest to thigh. Inhale, rise. Exhale, chest to thigh. Inhale, rise. Exhale, take it through your vinyasa. Lifting that left leg perhaps as you lower down. Inhale to rise. Downward facing dog. Breath in. Breath out. Inhale. Exhale. Fill up. Empty. Walk, step, or jump. Feet to your hands. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Toes together to touch, heels slightly apart. Inhale as we rise and sink into our Utkatasana chair pose. One breath. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift. Step back, jump back, move through your vinyasa, meet in downward facing dog. Using the breath to move you through these poses. And as soon as you hit your downward facing dog, that right leg rises, bringing it forward for warrior one. Inhale as you rise up. Exhale to the mat. Move through your vinyasa. Stepping that right foot back, lowering down. Inhaling to rise. Downward facing dog on the exhale. Left foot rises. Swinging it forward, exploding up. Warrior one. And taking it down to the mat on your exhale. Moving through your vinyasa, meeting in your downward facing dog. Taking a breath in. Breath out. Inhale. Exhale. Filling up. Empty. Feet to your hands, walk, step, or jump. Halfway lift on the inhale. Exhale, fold. Let's rise into our Utkatasana. Yes, one more time. Chair pose, sinking those hips, arms up overhead. This time we're going to take it to a twist. So we're going to keep our knees in line as we're sinking into this chair. Arms up, hands coming to heart center. We're going to take our left elbow to our right knee. We're not going to twist our hips. To make this happen, we're going to twist from our torso. And maybe we're just inhale lifting, exhale twisting. And maybe this is where we are today. If you'd like to take that left elbow to the right knee, do so. Working that chest open as you peel this right shoulder away, sinking those hips low, gazing up. If side crow is in your practice, this is the place to do it. If it's something you have wanted to work on, go for it. Planting your hands on the mat, making a shelf with these chaturanga arms. Right, so chaturanga arms, we think about keeping our elbows into our sides. So we've got our chaturanga arms making a shelf with those for our right leg. As we lean forward and rise up. And then hold. That's it. Meeting in our twist. Exhale, folding forward, taking those peace fingers to our big toes, pulling our head down towards the mat. Working on pulling your forehead closer and closer to your shins, biceps bulging. This is a moment to take a breath and take a break. That twist is pretty dynamic. The arm balance is tough, but we really want to feel the dynamic of this stretch as we're pulling our head closer and closer to the mat, closer and closer to our shins. So breathe into this as your biceps bulge and you pull. Releasing those toes together to touch, heels slightly apart, rising up into our chair pose one more time. Hands to heart center, inhale, lift and lengthen, keeping the knees in line, twisting from the torso, inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, right elbow to left knee. Using the breath to twist and open up. Inhale, lengthening towards the front of the mat here. Exhale, opening up to the side wall. If side crow's in your practice here, go for it on this side. Making that chaturanga shelf, that left leg on top, and lifting up. Wherever you are, we're meeting back in our twist. Exhale, fold forward. We're taking gorilla this time, stepping on the palms of our hands. Those elbows bending back towards our shins, pulling your head down further and further, closer and closer towards your shins. Releasing your feet. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Let's rise up to extended mountain pose, just filling ourselves full of this good air. Filling your lungs, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Step back, jump back, move through your vinyasa, meeting in your downward facing dog. As soon as you're in your downward facing dog, we're going to lift our right heel to the sky. Bringing it forward for crescent lunge.
Options for crescent lunge are to be down on this back knee. I'll hang out here for this round. Arms up overhead. Let's take that chest to thigh on an exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, rise. Exhale, chest to thigh. Arms up overhead. Now let's bring our hands to heart center and we're going to twist again. This time, left elbow to right knee. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, twist to the right, bringing this left elbow to the right knee. Inhaling the crown of your head towards the front of your mat. Exhaling, peeling this right shoulder open, opening up the chest, rinsing out and detoxing. As we twist, we really get into detoxing those internal organs, doing them a big favor here. So keep this twist. Coming down on your knee if you need to. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Let's reverse our warrior, sending that right palm to the sky. And now bringing this right elbow to our right knee for our extended side angle, lifting that left hand, reaching towards the front of the mat. Options here to stay right here because it's beautiful and amazing. If you're working on a half bind, working on opening up that shoulder even more, go for it. Maybe you're working on getting that full bind. Try it each week, see how far you can go. If you've got your full bind, maybe you want to try popping up to a bird of paradise, bringing that left foot forward, right underneath you, and then slowly rising up, and eventually maybe, extending that leg. Birdies, come on down. We're meeting in our extended side angle. Let's reverse our warrior, sending that right hand up to the sky. And cartwheel those hands down to the mat, moving through your vinyasa. Maybe lifting that leg as you lower down through chaturanga. Inhaling to rise, upward facing dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Breath in, breath out. Fill up. Empty. Fill your lungs. Squeeze it out. Let's lift our left heel to the sky, swinging it forward. Crescent lunge. Option again to be down on this right knee, or we can have this knee lifted. Arms up overhead. Exhale, taking that chest to thigh. Inhale to rise. Exhale, chest to thigh. Inhale, lift. Exhale, chest to thigh. Inhale, rise. Hands coming to heart center. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, right elbow to left knee. Twisting open. This is a heart opener, vitality builder. We're building fire here. I'm sure I don't have to tell you that. Inhale, and think about your spine lengthening towards the top of your mat. Exhale, peeling that shoulder open, working those hands back to heart center. Breathing and rinsing and inhaling and detoxing. And now let's open up to warrior two. From our warrior two, reverse it, send that left palm up to the sky, and then we're going to take that left elbow, left knee for extended side angle, reaching that right arm over, gazing up, hanging out right here, enjoying this beautiful, amazing pose. Or perhaps you want to work on opening up those shoulders even more with that half bind. Maybe we've got the full bind on this side. Maybe we want to try that bird of paradise on this side, knowing that sometimes, sometimes one side's easier than the other. Final and full expression of this pose is to extend that leg, that left leg up. All right, birdies, come on down. Meeting in our extended side angle. One final reach. Inhale, lifting that left arm up, reversing that warrior. Exhale, hands to the mat. As you go through your vinyasa, perhaps lifting that leg as you lower down through chaturanga. Inhaling to rise. Downward facing dog. And you breathe in and breathe out. Fill up. Empty. Big breath in. Release. Walk, step, or jump. Feet to your hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Rising up on our inhale all the way up. Arms up overhead, extended mountain pose. Hands coming to heart center, Tadasana. Setting up for our balance series for the morning. We are going to start with our eagle. Arms up overhead, right arm under. If this pretzely arm eagle thing isn't happening for you, genie arms are perfect. Maybe a butterfly hug is just what you need this morning. Whatever option is available to you. Take that now, right arm under, grounding in through the left leg. This right leg over, sinking into that standing leg, working on that right toe wrapping around the calf. Belly button into spine, tailbone tucks, pelvis lifts. Gazing at a point in front of you that is not moving, which is not me this morning. And now reaching up, releasing out of this, arms up overhead, left arm under, left leg over, grounding into your standing leg, belly button into spine, tailbone tucks. Elbows up to shoulder height, breathing and sinking, and release, coming out of it. Let's add on to it a little bit. Coming into eagle on the right, so our right arm is under, our right leg is over, working on that toe wrap, inhaling, making sure our elbows are up to shoulder height. Inhale, exhale, elbows to knees. Unraveling this top leg, keeping our right hip pointed down, hips are level. Maybe we're flexing that foot, we're in a bound warrior three. Arms open for our Dekasana airplane. And now let's take a dive down to our standing split, or I've heard Gilly call it the standing right angle. It always feels like my leg is like way up in the air, but you know, one day, right? So here we are in our standing split, and we have options. You can work on some handstand preps if you want, and a great place to just pop up and see what happens. Or we can work on our balance here, grabbing a hold of our ankle with our left hand and then our right, working on this balance. Or we can take these squats. Bring that right knee behind the left knee, squatting down, sitting that right leg up, exhaling as we squat. Inhale to rise. Let's take one more. And now let's bring our right foot down to meet our left. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale as we rise. One vertebra at a time, arms up overhead. We're taking eagle on the left. Left arm under, left leg over, sinking into that standing leg. Elbows up to shoulder height. Exhale, elbows to knees. Unraveling this top leg, we're in our bound warrior three. Making sure that hip is level, left hip rolling down. Opening up, Dekasana airplane. And then we'll take our nose dive down to our standing split. And taking your options, your handstand preps, working on your balance, grabbing a hold of your ankle, or if you like the squat option, exhaling as we bring that right knee behind the left, or that left knee behind the right. Inhale to rise, exhale squat, inhale lift, exhale squat. Inhale, lift. And let's bring that left foot down to meet the right. Everyone meeting in a forward fold. Halfway lift, fold. Rising up on an inhale, one vertebra at a time, arms up overhead. Hands coming to heart center. Coming into our tree pose. Grounding in to our left leg. Bringing our right foot where it's comfortable today. We may want to have it kickstand right at our ankle, on our calf, or up on our thigh. Hands into heart center to start. Pushing hand into hand helps to balance, but the balance really comes from this core stability, and that's not just the abs, it's the lower back and everything. So pull that belly button in, tilt that pelvis up, that tailbone down, grounding through the standing foot. So making sure that we're pushing through the four corners of the feet. That left foot, the ball of the left foot, pushing it down into the ground, not rolling onto the side of the left foot like I feel like our feet want to do. Take your hands somewhere new. And now let's bring it down and switch sides. Grounding in to the right leg, kickstanding calf or thigh. Taking your option, pushing hand into hand. Inhaling, belly button into spine. Shoulders out of the ears, shoulder blades back and down. As we're feeling stable, if you'd like, taking your hands somewhere new, growing your branches, maybe taking hands behind you, prayer hands behind, maybe at the nape of the neck. Any option that works for you today, making sure we're not locking out the knee joint. Feeling the muscles wrap around the bones, using the muscles to hold us up instead of the joints. And release. Beautiful. Arms up overhead, inhale, gazing up, exhale, fold forward, halfway lift, step back, jump back, move through your vinyasa, lowering down on your exhale, inhaling to rise, downward facing dog, belly button into spine as you push back. Take a breath in through your nose and a breath out. Inhale, exhale. Sending our right leg to the sky. Let's bring this right foot forward, coming down on our left knee. So we're in this crescent lunge modified, everyone down. On your left knee, we're setting up for our lizard pose. So bringing both hands inside of the right foot. Now an option in lizard is to have this knee lifted, so if that's where your lizard is, awesome, take it. I'm gonna have my knee down. If you have a block or a block-shaped object next to you, you may want it to kind of work on either, you can work with the block at different heights in this pose. So up tall, or maybe lowering your forearms down to the block. And then eventually, maybe you're ready to get rid of the block. But think about keeping the right shoulder and the right knee really glued in together. Lowering down any way that's comfortable for you. Lizard isn't really supposed to be about comfort. It is a hip opener, which means there's discomfort in the hip, but then also in our mind sometimes as we let these hips open and all the junk we were storing there swirl out. So just sit with it, breathing through it, releasing into it. And now let's inhale, rise up. Let's bring our right hand on the outside of our right foot and setting up for our half splits. If full splits is in your practice, 100% go for it. I'm gonna flow through some half splits though. So I'm gonna lean forward, inhale, exhale, keeping my foot flat on the ground, leaning back, inhale forward, exhale back, popping my toes this time. Inhale forward. Exhale, yogi's choice with the toes, whichever one you liked the most. Just try that. We'll inhale. Exhale, release back. Coming back to neutral, we're going to plant our left hand, send our right arm to the sky, taking that twist, gazing up at the right hand. Enjoying this twist here. Perhaps we want to pop those toes, reach back, grab a hold of that cattail. And exhale. And let's send our right foot back up to the sky. We'll take a three-legged dog, popping the left knee up. Three-legged dog. And then we'll bring that down. Left leg rises. Sending that forward, coming down onto our right knee. Again, having the knee lifted is absolutely an option. Coming into our lizard, which way you'd like to get into it. Remember, we're going to try to keep our left shoulder and left knee hugged in together as much as possible as we lower down into this hip opener, releasing and melting, relaxing into it. Letting go of any judgments, letting go of any negative thoughts. All of those things are just thoughts. They can't do anything to you, right? Most of the judgments and the negative thoughts that we have, I say most, but pretty much all, are lies. So let them go. No need for that in your life. And now let's rise up. Let's bring our left hand on the outside of our left foot, setting up for our half splits. Again, full splits is in your practice. Absolutely go for that now. You can also use a block if you're really close with full splits to kind of help get into that. Or if you want to flow through these half splits with me, absolutely join me. So we're going to inhale our chest forward. Exhale, keeping our toes on the mat as we lean back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back, popping those toes. Inhale, forward. Exhale, yogi's choice with the toes. Inhale, forward. Exhale, whichever option you liked. Now coming back to neutral, planting the right hand, left arm rises, gazing up at the top hand. Maybe we want to reach back and grab a hold of that cattail on this side. Looking over that left shoulder. Releasing. And we're going to pop our right knee, coming into that three-legged dog on this side. Sending that left heel up to the sky, and then bringing it down. We'll take a breath in, a breath out. Inhale, exhale, filling up, empty. Let's inhale out to our high plank just for a moment, and then lower all the way down to our bellies. Setting up for our belly down postures, starting with the locust pose with our arms down by our sides. So you're on your belly, toes together to touch. If your low back is talking to you this morning and saying that's not a good thing, you can absolutely bring your toes about hips width distance. If your low back is fine, toes together to touch. Arms down by your side, palms on the mat, chin on the mat. On your next inhale, lifting up into that locust. Everything you can, lifting up off the mat. Spinning your thighs in towards each other, belly button into your spine, lifting and breathing. Remembering the inhale and the exhale. Sometimes we hold our breath. Don't hold the breath, but hold this up and then exhale down. Take a cleansing breath in. Maybe rest your right cheek on the mat. Breath out. Locust number 2, chin on the mat. Arms out by your side, down by your side, palms on the mat. On your next inhale, lifting up, lifting high, squeezing all the muscles in together, belly button into your spine, feeling the back lift you up, shoulders up off the mat, super proud chest, reaching those arms behind you. Inhale, exhale, inhale, lift, and exhale down. Beautiful. Resting your left cheek on the mat as you lift. And exhale, release down. Windshield wiper your feet back and forth, releasing your low back. Now let's roll over onto our backs. We're going to take one bridge or one wheel, one good back bend. So laying on your back. If you have a block and you'd like to do a restorative bridge right now, you can take that block. Rolling onto your back, bringing your heels close to your hips, lifting your hips and placing that block underneath your sacrum, and then maybe Relaxing those feet out, just enjoying this restorative bridge. If you would like to come into bridge and you've got a block, you can place the block between your knees. This will help to make sure your knees stay in line as you lift up. Grounding down through your heels and lifting your hips up, clasping your hands underneath you maybe, coming up onto your shoulders to really get higher into that lift. If wheel is in your practice, you absolutely can come into that right now. Placing those hands by your ears, inhaling and lifting up into that back bend. Lifting up, rising high, and now lowering down. Let's take a Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, closing your eyes, one hand on your chest, one hand on your heart. Taking a few moments to breathe. Inhaling, exhaling, filling up, and emptying. Let's hug our knees into our chest. Let's bring our right knee in, up and around the rib cage while our left leg goes long. Our left foot is flexed, our right foot is relaxed. Hugging this right knee in, and then bringing it around the body, bringing that right knee down. Trying to keep the right shoulder on the mat as well. It's not necessary, doesn't have to happen, but if it can, it's kind of cool. Doing whatever you need though right now to feel this spinal twist the way that you want to feel it. And let's bring that right knee back to center. Extend that right heel up to the sky. Maybe we're grabbing a hold behind our thigh. Maybe you can reach up and grab your calf. Maybe you can reach up and grab peace fingers to big toes, feeling this stretch up the back of the leg. If you've got your big toe, maybe you're pulling your toe closer and closer, bringing your shin closer and closer to your forehead. You can do that with your calf too, or thigh. Just pulling that leg, feeling that stretch. Let's release that right foot down. Left knee rises, bringing that left knee up and around the rib cage. Right foot is flexed, left foot is relaxed. Hugging that knee in, and then bringing this right knee across the body. Working on getting that left knee down, left shoulder down. Breathing into the twist. Let's bring this knee back up, lifting that left heel to the sky, grabbing a hold behind your thigh, behind your calf, maybe grabbing a hold of your big toes with your peace fingers, feeling that stretch up the back of the leg, and then maybe we're pulling that leg a little bit just to feel the deeper stretch. And now let's release that leg down. If you have a block, grab a hold of it. Coming into a gentle inversion. So options here, if you don't have a block, you can take your legs up the wall. If you do have the block, placing it under your sacrum and lifting your heels up to the sky, taking this waterfall inversion. Again, without the block, we could come up to any wall and place your legs up the wall. Or you can lay right here on your mat and just lift your legs up 90 degrees. This is a great inversion to do maybe before bedtime. Inversions are good for building energy, like headstands, handstands, things like that. So technically that's a better inversion probably for the morning. But this is a great one because it gets you all the same benefits, but it also really calms you down and relaxes you. So you're getting that recirculation of the blood and all that good stuff that inversions do, but it's just a more relaxing, restorative version. All right, let's bring our feet down. Lifting our hips up off the block if you were there. If you're at a wall, maybe come back to your mat. Our knees are bent, our hips are close to our heels. We're going to take our right ankle over our left knee, grounding through our left heel, and we're going to lift up on our inhale and exhale down. Inhale, lift, exhale, release. Inhale, lift, exhale, release. One more as we lift, and we're going to come down. We'll bring this right foot down, left ankle on our right knee, grounding through the right heel as we lift our hips on an inhale, exhale down. Inhale and lift, exhale, release. Inhale to rise, exhale, release. Inhale, lift, exhale, down. Let's bring our left heel down. Let's rock and roll the length of our spine, coming up to a seated position just for a moment to get our seated forward fold in. Sending our legs out in front of us, arms up overhead. Identify your peace fingers reaching down, grabbing a hold of your big toes if you can, pulling your forehead down towards your toes, eyebrows down towards your toes, keeping a flat back as you pull. Feeling that stretch in the legs, feeling the stretch in the back. Inhale and rise up. Let's take our left foot inside of our right thigh, arms up overhead as we clasp our hands, bringing this little finger basket around our right toes. We're gripping those toes, and then bending our knee as much as we need to bring our forehead to our knee. Janu Sirsasana, forehead to knee pose. Make it happen however it can for you. The most important thing is the forehead to the knee. Eventually, as you come to your mat more and more, you'll be able to straighten your leg out. And release, and let's switch sides. Right foot into the left. Making that basket grip around the toes, bending your knee as much as you need to bring your forehead to your knee. And release, extending those legs out long in front of you, lowering down one vertebra at a time. Coming into your final resting pose, Shavasana, gently closing your eyes, coming back to your natural breath. Taking time here to allow all the benefits of the poses that we just did, of the work that we just did, to flood through your body as you relax. Breathing in, breathing out, taking as much time here as you need. Thank you for joining me today with this Vinyasa class. And yoga, we say, the light in me sees and recognizes the light in each and every one of you. Namaste.